Angry guy here, and women are shocked that men are refusing to have children. Women are shocked that men are refusing to have children. So men are actually boycotting and opting out of parenthood. The number of men who are having children is at an all-time low. Women are being heavily affected as the birth rate continues to fall significantly. And women are shocked that men today are refusing to actually have a child with them. The only guys that are out there now running around and getting into relationships and having children with most women are the Ray Rays, the Pookies, the Tyrones, and of course Little Pancho, the men that these women actually love, especially little Pancho. They love Little Pancho. They love Little Pancho. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
All right, folks. So the phrase "demography is destiny" is attributed to French philosopher, also the famed father of sociology, Auguste Comte. And essentially, it means that you need to have a growing population to have a growing economy. With that in mind, take a look at this. This is the birth rate of United States. And I got to tell you, if the statement, either that statement Auguste made is a lie or this is going to catch up to us later. I happen to believe it's the latter. It will catch up to us later. So the question, of course, is can or will Gen Z come to the rescue? I want to bring in now New York Post columnist Rikki Schlott. All right, Rikki. The 65 and older crowd will be 37% of our population come 2040. We need you guys to come to the rescue.
Yeah, I don't have too much faith in us, unfortunately. I mean, statistically speaking, the majority of young people who are childless right now, 56% say they just simply don't want children. It's not even that it's a factor of circumstance. And I hear frequently from my friends, they're worried about bringing kids into a dying planet and a climate catastrophe or the state of the world right now. And so I think it's even a little bit more ideological with young people today.
20 years ago, a professor in Japan, now Japan has always been ahead of us on this sort of social media, internet kind of stuff. And these improvised, these games where you become the person in the game. So he came up with a phrase called grass eaters. Essentially, it was the young men there rejected their parents. Their parents were proud. They would work for the same company for 50 years. They would do a 2-hour commute both ways. And they were really proud of that. Instead, these kids, they slept all day. They played video games all night. They immersed themselves into this world. Their population is going to go from 120 million people to 80 million people. And about 50% of them said they have no interest in sex at all. The reason I bring that up is you wrote a pretty provocative article. It's called "When It Comes to Sex, My Generation is Screwed." I mean, is this a similar situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one thing that we have here that's even worse is our partisan politics situation, where we know that boys are going to the right and women are going to the left. And increasingly, they're saying that they refuse to date someone on the other side of the aisle. So more than half of women say that being a conservative is a red flag. More than half say listening to Joe Rogan is a red flag. And so I think we're kind of headed towards a demographical disaster if we can't bridge the divide, at least putting politics on the back burner for romance.
How do you put it on the backside? How do you put it on the side when it's everywhere? I mean, it's, you know, it's hard to find any part of the society, TV commercials, television shows, articles, books are being rewritten and re-edited in certain ways. How do you put it aside when it feels like who's ever pulling the strings actually trying to make it worse?
Well, I mean, that's why I think that we're really in a tough spot, young people. I mean, as a libertarian young woman, I'm often told, like, oh, it's a breath of fresh air because you're not going to be offended by everything that I say.
So are you kind of in the middle? Like, you're in a lonely island almost, aren't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the out-group dissenters are sort of the most valuable commodities. I know a lot of young men who play up their woke positions in order to get women, and they say that it's been pretty effective, actually.
You know, there was an old saying, and I would think it still applies, that when you're young and you don't have a heart, like it goes something to the fact that when you're young and you're not liberal, you don't have a heart. And when you're older and you're not conservative, you don't have a brain.
Yeah.
I mean, could it just be that same thing going on? Is there something deeper?
I think that the crazier part is that we just know that young people are forking. So it's less a factor of age. We know that the boys are going right and the girls are going left.
Is that because the young men feel hopeless? I mean, this is a society that's been trying to rewrite the fact that women make less than men, and it feels like the push has been to give women a push and it's come at the expense of men or young men.
Absolutely. A lot of young men, I think, definitely feel like the girl power stuff is disproportionate and that boys are disenfranchised in society today. I would also say that I think the left right now really panders to some more female proclivities to be more empathetic and emotional and want to protect people and do the right thing and be charitable. And so I do think that there is almost a feminization of the left wing.
So I think I've got good news for you.
Okay.
A new app is on the way. Are you ready for it?
I am ready for it.
All right. This app starts with it scores your here we go. This is your score, your dating app for people with good credit. So at the very least, you're getting a 675 on up. I mean, would that help?
I'm not sure about this one. I mean, I think it's an interesting conversation starter, but I think if you're filtering particularly for financial reasons, it might be a little transactional for my taste.
Really? I mean, isn't one of the big mistakes is people don't have honest conversations about finance, or when it comes to young folks, it's still about
the first
magnetism.
Date, though,
yeah.
I don't know if you're building your credit, if you've forgot one bill, but you're headed back on the right track. I don't want to just filter you out for that reason.
Demographics as destiny. Are we? Right now, it feels almost like we're not going to catch up. I mean, is it possible to ever have another baby boom?
I don't know. I mean, I do think that there's like a small subgroup of Gen Zers who are starting to come around and realize that like a traditional family life is valuable.
I saw something the other day where women, young ladies at high school, at college graduation, were all wearing engagement rings. I mean,
I think there's a little revival of some traditional values, but I would say by and large, my generation is more skeptical, even if it's a financial element as well too. I mean, don't underestimate how many young people are just underwater with student loans that they.
Yeah, I mean, guys, she's not optimistic. And I keep warning y'all about Gen Z. And there are a lot of you who come to the comments and say that I'm being a doomer and everything is going to be all right with Gen Z. Gen Z is going to turn around and they're going to learn that life is hard. And as a result of learning about life's hardships, they're going to change and they're going to start to act right. They're going to become responsible members of society. They're going to take over society and eventually they're going to lead. And I'm just like, I don't know. It just illustrates, and a lot of these people are like, some of them are Gen Xers and some of them are Gen Xers, some of them are millennials, some of them are boomers. And it's like, I think to myself that you have to be so delusional to look at this group of people and not realize that they are underserving society and they don't have the skill sets to be productive in society. Something went terribly wrong when these people were growing up, and it's just not going to happen. The birth rate is collapsing. People are not having children anymore. Men do not want to have their children anymore. Young men are becoming more conservative. Young women are becoming more liberal. There is no in between right now, for the most part. There's no coming together. There's really no solution out of this other than men walking away from Western society and focusing on themselves and their own happiness. At the end of the day, the only options that most young men increasingly see is going overseas and finding a woman outside of Western society because they don't like what's being offered in Western society. And Western women, there's no coming back from this. The only tool set that they have right now is shame. Okay? Using shame against men. So when you hear men saying things like they're not interested in being with women in Western society, they don't like what how women have changed. These women basically say, no, that's because you can't get one of us. That's because you're going overseas to do bad things overseas. That's all they have. And these women are absolute liars because most of the men that are going over there are looking for wives. And you have to understand, so many guys don't even want to get married today. They don't want to get married. They don't want to have children. So the men that are actually willing to get married and have children, those are the men that are going overseas and getting married. There's a lot of dudes who are going overseas and they have no intention of getting married. They just don't want to have, they're just sick of America. They're sick of Western society. They're sick of Canada. They're sick of Australia. They're sick of the UK, and they just want some peace. And they are walking away from Western society. And then you have the other guys who are going over there to find wives. Most men are not going over there to get involved in tourism, to find women that are that will be physically intimate with them. Most men aren't doing that. The vast majority of these guys are going, if they do want a woman, they're going over there to settle down and to find someone that's going to become a wife and a mother. These guys and modern women don't seem to understand. They don't seem to care, other than using shame to control these men. That the marriageable men are all leaving. They don't want what you're selling. And it's like they think that, oh, it's because they're trying to say, oh, it's because you can't get one of us. Ladies, men don't want women who have these extremely high body counts. They don't want women who immediately say that you need to make this amount of money if you want to date me. They don't want women who say that $1 million is not even a lot of money. Women have lost they've lost complete understanding, and they have a terrible relationship with money because they see all of these people going onto social media and making tons of money for doing essentially nothing. You have guys like Neon that are walking around in society creating havoc, guys like Logan Paul, who got famous for creating havoc and controversy, and then of course all these 304s that are on Only Fools and Lonely Fans that are boasting about making tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, or in some cases millions of dollars a year by busting it wide open for the sibs. And women are like, well, you know what, if no matter what, I have this thing, I have the golden V, and I can use the golden V to make me as much money as I need. And I have the simp economy, and I can live off that simp economy, because that's what most women are doing right now. And they think that the simp economy is going to just they're going to be able to live off that for the rest of their lives. And worst case scenario, they'll just hop on Only Fools or Lonely Fans and they'll get their bag that way. And I've already stated this, that they have sold their futures for instant gratification in the present. And many of them find it funny right now, but when they can't find a place to live because the landlord, hears that they, says, oh, you know what, I don't want to rent to you because you're associated with this type of thing. And, that the money can be problematic. Oh, what does this person do for a living? Oh, they're involved in this industry. Okay, yeah, that platform is related to very bad actions. There's a lot of lawyers who won't work with customers and clients who make their money from that platform and from for similar platforms. And I think it's only going to get worse, even as women are trying to normalize it more and more. It may that platform may get shut down. Many of you may think I'm exaggerating, but that platform may honestly get shut down. And even if it doesn't, there might be some very serious implications that come from the U.S. government and other governments very soon. It's been happening in other countries where this platform is banned in other countries, like the Philippines. You can't use this platform in the Philippines, for example. There are a lot of countries where this platform is absolutely banned. And if it gets to this point, it could land some women in a lot of problems, a lot of hot water. And it can, they'll be crying that when they can no longer get a job in certain places, because it's happening now. You're on that platform and you can't find a job, but a lot of places will not even hire you. Like, you won't even be able to get a job at Starbucks. I've said this before and I'll say it again, nothing lasts forever, and that's what women are increasingly seeing right now. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, please help get the channel to 100,000 subscribers by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Women are shocked that men are refusing to have children. What do you guys think about this? I want to hear your thoughts, so let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away. And cheers.